How's it going, everyone? I'm the JJ. I am also your new predictions champion. And I know I skipped Takeover. I screwed up a couple of things. It's Mania weekend. I barely have gotten sleep, so it's semi-excusable. I've watched like 90 wrestling shows, so yeah. To go over these mistakes, one. I don't think in the video for predictions, I think there was a couple of changes I didn't announce, but more importantly, there was, I didn't announce the actual time limits, the time on the musical guest, which was the tiebreaker. I didn't think it was going to actually matter because I didn't think it was actually going to come down to it. I was wrong. I won this belt entirely thanks to the tiebreaker, and not the way I thought. But anyway, point being, let's get on to NXT Takeover, which was my second mess up. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but honestly, I didn't think I was... WrestleMania started at 5. I got up at like 10, 11, and I had to do some other things, watch a couple other shows, and I wasn't able to get Takeover out. So I'll do it today. Today we're going to do NXT Takeover, day 5 out of the 10 days of Mania. And again, we start the show with a Triple H promo. The We Are Home. Basically, just alluding to the fact that they're in Orlando. This month's Takeover is in Orlando. We get like 4 a year. First match to open the show is Sanity versus Ty Dillinger, Ruby Riott, Roderick Strong, and it was supposed to be No Way Jose, but yeah, because quick and concise names are the best. But No Way Jose was injured. They did the ankle break spot with the stairs, not with the triangular side, which scares the shit out of me. Sure enough, they got Cassius Ohno to take over for him, and the crowd seemed to like that. Ohno enters, kills Wolf and Darren Young. Dane taunts him, basically says, "Do it to me. Try to a man my size. Yeah, good luck." That's a setup for later in the match. Young distracts, and Wolf gains control. That's pretty much like the beginning of Sanity's control over this match, essentially. And you can thank it to Young, not to Wolf, who seems to be the weak link of Sanity. Don't know if that's on purpose story-wise, or if that just, is true. Young, all the while, is taunting Dillinger to continue their feud, which is going to go nowhere, because I actually think I remember hearing Ty's getting called up really soon. Weird choice. Roddy gets the hot tag, I believe. He fires up, basically till Dane just cuts him off. Killian Dane does not get enough love from the crowd, does not get enough love from, in general. I genuinely think he deserves much better. If you've watched WCPW, he is Big Damo, and Big Damo's awesome. I remember watching Big Damo, I was like, who's this fucking big guy? I don't fucking care. And within like a week or two, instantly loved Big Damo. He's got some personality to show, and you're going to like him. The story that I got out of this match is Sanity's teamwork is just better. They're, which probably shouldn't be true, actually, thinking, clearly about it. Sanity? Oh, well, we're insane, but, we're clearly sane enough to just work together beautifully in every aspect. Ohno teases a dive over the ropes, but instead puts his hands down on the outside and just does like a handspring flip, like a handstand flip to the outside, and then just continues. Dane winds up paying off the setup from earlier, try that with me, and rams KO into the boards. Ruby and Nikki choke. They earlier in the match they took each other out, but their big spot was choking out a guy on the opposite team. Ruby hits a massive drop kick, a missile drop kick to the outside, where you just hear the loudest, just fucking like one-winged angel by Dane to, of all people, Ty Dillinger for the win. Which that better mean he's getting called up. Actually, no. What? Screw you. Nikki could have used the win, and Ruby should have taken the pin here. Overall, I thought that was a good match. There was nothing crazy about it. It was, the guys in it are probably better than the result of the match, if I'm being honest, but the match itself was technically okay, and it worked well, especially for a chaotic six-man. The next match, Aleister Black versus Andrade Cien Almas. Weirdly, I've heard people reviewing this as like an okay match. I thought this was a great match. But yeah, no, I heard a lot of people review Aleister Black versus Andrade Cien Almas as okay or good. I thought this was a great match. I thought they had some nice spots in it that like psychologically brought the match up a little more, but we'll get into that right now, actually. Aleister Black's entrance, both the theme and the fucking actual visuals and the mechanisms behind it is probably not to pull a Lita here and ruin TJ Perkins' entrances, because that hyped that up to a whole level, and then when I saw it, I was like, that's kind of just bland. I don't want to pull a that. I don't want to get you hyped up and then make it like, something bland. But Aleister Black's entrance is my new favorite entrance. The music is sinister. His look is perfect. He's sort of like, almost like Taker sits up, but like he doesn't do it at the waist. He just gets lifted. The only thing I'm going to say is do not let this be an Ember situation where it's like, oh, cool little entrance, nice little thing here, oh, like great appearance, but what's the character? Don't let it be that. Define Aleister Black within the next few weeks, please. Black backflips into meditation because he sees CN is about to move out of the way and he's going for a rope dive, a springboard specifically, to the outside, and then no, he moved, backflip, sits down, meditation, awesome. Black, little things like that are perfect. CN almost hits rope-assisted arm bars. He hits 3 throughout the match, or rather, he goes for 2, and then third one's countered. That's what I mean by little, the little string of psychology here. He hit 1, oh, shame on you. Hit 2, oh, shame on me. Third one, I'm not hitting, you're not. Like, I've learned. But here's the thing, is Nigel actually even points out the other psychological thing you should be paying attention here. He's not working the right body part. He's working Black's leg, or rather arms. He's doing arm bars. He should be working the legs, because Aleister Black is a very kick-heavy opponent. Triangle moonsault, I believe it was, by Black to the outside. Gorgeous. Fucking gorgeous. That's becoming sort of too regular for me, but still, every time it gets hit, it's just... after a non-kick-out by Black, because it looked like a 3, if I'm being honest. It looked like a 3, but apparently it was a 2. Whatever, that's fine, I'll take it. I want Black to win this after all. We get a dub kick spot where both of them hit each other and they both wind up out. They wind up taking a rest break. I don't think they needed a rest spot in this match. They definitely didn't. And if they did, then they might need to work on some cardio. I definitely don't think the dub spot, I definitely don't think it got the crowd behind them, so if that was the purpose, no, bad choice there too. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that kind of didn't fit with the match. That's really the only negative for me, though. CN does this thing where he goes for a dragon suplex, but like it gets countered, so instead of like trying to fight for the dragon, he just quickly abandons the dragon suplex and turns it into a German. I love that it's those little things. I keep saying it's those little things. CN is really finding his stride now. Also, not just a snap German, it was a snap bridging German. Multiple knees, kicks, and the Black Mass for the win. Black Mass is, spoiler alert, another big kick. Do you think he does a lot of kicks, Bob? One of my favorite spots in this match is Black just like, he sees CN is on the ground, so he just puts his boot under his chin, and he just lifts his head like, what are you going to do? This is it? Great match. I thought that was a great match. Again, bottom of great. Just barely made great, but I thought that was still a great match. For the tag team titles, we got the Authors of Pain, the champions. The Revival versus DIY, an elimination style, too. This was a great match. This was match of the night. To me, I thought this was match of the night. 2 versus 4 to start. You get a team per Author of Pain. I thought that was good psychology. I thought that was really, and also just a cool moment, more importantly. And then finally, when Akam and Razor, because we're clever in Occam's Razor, when they get taken out, the Revival and DIY finally start their match together, basically one-on-one. But they're not like, I screwed that up. They're not taken out. They're not out of the match. They're just taken down. Revival smartly leave DIY to die instead of taking one of the tags. It looks like Gargano's going, I think it was Gargano, going for a tag, and then Revival like, no, you can be eliminated and then we'll fight. But then later in the match they start working with them because they realize, oh shit, no, yeah, it's elimination. So like if we let them beat you, then we're basically fucked. So yeah, screw it, let's help. Ciampa with a knee off the apron to Akam, Johnny with I think it was either a senton or I think it was a senton off the apron to the other one. I thought that was really cool, and I'm probably going to die by clothesline for saying the other one. AOP catch Johnny. So, Ciampa sees this, goes to like throw the momentum in their favor and like put like the whole group out. So he goes for a suicide dive, bounces off the rope, comes in, and right as he's about to leave the ropes, they just throw Gargano's body at him, catch it, and then throw it at the Revival on the other side. I get that AOP's bland, but they're doing a lot better. Like, and it, the credit probably goes to Revival and DIY for putting the match together, but they're not screwing it up. Be fair. And I don't like them either. They're not that, high on my list of phenomenal wrestlers either. Actually, they're very low on that one. On my favorite wrestlers is what I mean. Then that makes me want to question how Tommaso can fire up and take on both Authors of Pain at once. Ooh, that was a nice moment. But yet, two teams, one per author, that needed to happen. Maybe the story is AOP throughout the entirety of the match gets slowly and slowly more vulnerable, and then that's going to be their ultimate downfall later because they can't go long, almost like Tyson. 4 men put an AOP douche through a table via powerbomb. Thought that was really cool. All men. Gargano and Ciampa were about to do it, and then he wouldn't go. He was holding onto the rope, so Revival from inside the ring bounce off the rope, elbow him, and he goes through. Thought that was really cool. That was a nice spot. Dawson hits like an inverted or reversed figure 4 on one of the Authors of Pain, and it looks like Gargano's about to come in and break it up, and he just goes, wait. And then you see Tommaso, no, it's elimination. So basically they put the idea in oh, screw it, let's just get this guy out. Gargano then puts him in a crossface while he's in the reverse figure 4. Awesome. DIY and Revival trade finishes. Gargano and Dawson hit the DIY finish, the knees. Dash and Ciampa wind up hitting the Shatter Machine. Also, we get dual suicide dives. Ciampa gets superplexed by Dawson to the crowd on the floor. Oh my god, this was so cool. And then it just sort of deflated when DIY lost. They're going up soon, I think. So I think they are, and I think Revival are. Revival might be first, actually. DIY lose. The crowd clearly start disliking this. They turn on the match. DIY lose to the last chapter. Revival die to basically no one likes you chance, which, yeah, and that's pretty much it. Obviously, the nobody likes you were directed at AOP. I thought this was a great match. This is probably going to be talked about. I don't think it'll end up on lists, but I think it'll be talked about for a Match of the Year candidate, definitely. Ember Moon versus Asuka for the women's title. By the way, tag titles, the new tag titles, the new women's titles, the new NXT titles. Thanks for making this obsolete, by the way. Speaking of that, stay tuned for our WrestleMania review. Yeah, making the new ones, they're really nice, by the way. Make them different. Tag titles look the most different, and in my opinion, look the best. The women's title is essentially the NXT title with women on the top. I get you're a business, I get you're professional, I get both sides here. I personally am leaning to the side that you got to make it look different to stand out. Ember Moon versus Asuka, this was a fucking great match. And I didn't want Ember to win, so that they played to that a lot, I think. Collar and elbow tie-up, and they hit the ground with the ferocity. And a lot of times I see this spot, I don't like it. These two did it right. They hit the spot, they hit the floor, rather. They hit the spot and then hit the floor, essentially. But they hit the collar elbow tie-up. They go to the floor. They're still holding collar elbow. They roll around a little bit, but not in the catty, grab the hair, Ruby Riott, Nikki Cross way we just saw. In a much more ferocious sort of I'm not going to let go of this even if we're both going down way. And I think it looks a lot better here. They're even. Essentially, they're even. They trade shoulder blocks to a deadlock, really, really selling that they're even here. Asuka just winds up outsmarting her and hits her with the hip attack and cuts her off before she can get the momentum going. That's how you make sure that Ember looks good and Asuka looks, better. And that's what they should have been. Ember with a beautiful springboard crossbody to the outside. Thought that was gorgeous. Really did. Really liked that one. Asuka dodges the Eclipse. Quickly hits a running drop kick, and that's what I mean. They start playing to the idea that you think Ember might actually be the one to end Asuka's reign. You think it might actually be it. They're really playing to that. She is that. She's going to be that single person. Eclipse. Oh no, we don't want Asuka to lose. Oh no. Doesn't hit the Eclipse. Whew. Sets it up again later after the momentum's properly built up. Oh, expectation. Denied. Asuka actually saves Ember from breaking her neck, or potentially breaking her neck. She was on the ropes and she looked like she was about to go over the ropes, and Asuka sort of actually grabs her. She holds her in between the ropes and then basically breaks her neck anyway with a fucking German because, nobody's ready for Asuka. That sounded like sarcasm. It wasn't. Nobody is ready for Asuka, and that did prove it. Asuka pushes the ref into Ember, which, to be honest, probably should be a DQ, but it isn't. That's fine. I'm okay as long as Asuka still has the title, I guess. Call that nepotism, because it probably is. well, some weird form of it. And basically, Asuka kicks her in the face to win. And we actually, I remember, I heard some audible boos. I think, I don't think that was a successful heel turn, which is definitely what they were going for there, in my opinion, with the smile and everything. I don't think it was a successful one, but it sort of worked. You could argue that it didn't fail because it still is getting people to that same conclusion, but we didn't arrive at the destination. We took a break along the way, if that makes sense. Finally, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bobby Roode for the NXT Championship. This is another great match. I thought this was a slower-paced match, an old-school style match, essentially, and it worked out in its favor. I think Bobby can be that guy that makes old-school wrestling cool again. Nakamura took the early lead with lots of knee strikes, kicks, Nakamura stuff. Roode takes over, no pun intended. Get it? Because it's... I know. And basically, legitimately stomps a mud hole Stone Cold style in the corner on Shinsuke. Knock hits his knee to the floor, which, you know, after a knee injury isn't the best psychology or smart or legitimately, you know, both in-ring, kayfabe-wise, dumb. Out-of-ring, non-kayfabe-wise, dumb. I love the spot. I liked seeing it 5 times. Don't do it 20. I like knees to be intact, please. Roode dodges the Kinshasa, hits a chop block to the knee, and that's when we start the story of that goddamn knee, man. That goddamn knee. We also get the classic almost a crotch, but not really, slammed their knee into the post. He stomped it a lot. I mean, he worked the knee in general. It was a very cerebral pick at a body part match. It was an Arn Anderson match, essentially. Naka versus the second figure 4 attempt into an armbar, which is transitioned then into a triangle choke, because we do transitioned and submissions for days, especially with Nakamura. Roode ducks the Kinshasa by rolling out. Classic heel technique. Again, the classics here what made this match great. Roode rolls back in as Knock rolls out. Knock rolls back in. Roode kicks the top rope for a low blow. Hits the DDT finish to a kick out. Again, Nakamura will not stay down. You have to build that heart. And Roode hits a second rope, an avalanche DDT for the win. An impaler DDT, because just a regular DDT would be bland. But impaler for both of those. Holy shit, that second rope impaler. He almost hit it like, here's the thing that bothers me. It goes both ways. It still looks brutal as shit and awesome, but he hit it like almost like a Canadian destroyer from the top, where you don't actually do the move from the top. You land and then use the jumping momentum from that. But again, looked great. Loved all of this. Thought this was a great pay-per-view overall. Big surprise of the night, Drew Galloway signing again. Supposed to be over at WWN Live. I think it was Caffeine, which I actually have to watch yet again because, you know, I need sleep somewhere, damn it. Also, Beth and Edge were there. That was cool. You always got to get that, and this is just my opinion, you always, at least the major ones, have to get that celebrity cameo, preferably a wrestling celebrity cameo, and that new debut or new announcement. If you do that once a pay-per-view, the matches can be semi-okay. You can have some matches that aren't great, which, by the way, this might be the first 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the worst match on the night was good, and 4 out of 5 were great. Just to sidetrack that point. I'm going to go watch some more pay-per-views, and Mania, I'm actually probably going to switch. I'm going to do Mania at the end of the week, probably on the 10th day, so I have time to properly review each match, because a 6.5-hour show. 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours. 6.5 dementia. So, yeah, if you can, like and subscribe. Tomorrow we're probably going to do the Raw show, and then we'll do SmackDown, NXT, TNA, and then we'll end with Mania. I think that's a lot smarter for everybody. And a lot better for me. So, yeah, if you can, like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. The most important one out of all those would be to comment. If you can, just remember that friends and family are absolutely temporary. The Bullet Club, well, the Bullet Club, as well as my title reign, shall be for life.